I would love to hear, oh, I'm losing you guys. Hello. Oh. Hi guys, good morning. It's so pretty out today. This is the first day that it feels like summer. Sorry about how loud everything is. It feels very loud today. But anyway, I am driving up 95. It's a straight shot, so I don't mind talking to you. I wish I had a better setup. I'm sorry I don't. I wanted to tell you about an OBE that I had, and it was like so crazy. It wasn't like a typical OBE where like, oh man, can I get this any better? Hold on. Is that better? I wish it was like this. I wouldn't feel so bad. Anyway, it wasn't like a natural OBE like that I have, the ones that like I'm talking to other people or having any kind of dialogue. I'm trying to get it right. I'm having any kind of dialogue type thing. What it was, oh my God. So I'm laying in bed. I had on, and actually I didn't have on one of like Monroe Institute thing where you're going to another world type thing. I had on just, it's Steve, I'll link it below, but it was just a sleep thing, like to help me meditate before I sleep, that kind of thing. It was like a guided meditation for sleep. It wasn't for astral projection, because they have a ton of those, but a lot of times with astral projection, like I told you, you're not asleep, so the next day you're like bug-eyed from being so tired. Anyway, so I'm laying there and I'm like, I feel the slipping, like that I'm slipping away. And I look up to my ceiling and there are several, I guess, orbs. I think I know what an orb is. Like everybody thinks they're spirits. I don't think so. I think they're doors. And I'll tell you why, because I'm like looking up at my white ceiling in the dark, like there wasn't a ton of light, but it wasn't pitch black either because my laptop was open and on to this video, right? To the video for sleep. So all of a sudden I feel like my out-of-body things start to happen, but I don't really go anywhere. I just kind of a lot of times you can travel, and I know this goes out creepy, but you can travel while you're just like I could be traveling right now too, because if you get good at this, your mind can just kind of like stay here and be direct, and at the same time be searching something else. Now, I don't know how well I could have other conversations or something, but I definitely know that I can like go looking around. So almost like daydreaming, but not really, but you know you're not daydreaming. Anyway, I kept slipping away and in and away and in and out of my body, but I never really left my bed. But as I'm looking up to the ceiling, knowing I'm shifting, there's a feeling you get when you shift, a lightness, like gravity no longer is holding you down, that kind of thing. It doesn't mean you like automatically float. It just means you feel that. You feel that you've left the pull of the earth, or actually the push of the earth. Anyway, I'm laying there and these orbs are all over my ceiling, probably about, I should have counted them, I'm gonna say like 6, maybe 7 orbs. They're about this big around. They are blue-green, and the inside of them look like the ocean almost. On the edges it crackles and sparkles, just like a sparkler from like 4th of July. And they are opening to me. They're opening and then closing and then opening. Like it almost looked like a creature, like it had a mind, okay? And so I laid there just looking at them all, and if I focused in on one, and then I would slip and be out of that. And I'm like, you know, this isn't new. I've seen these before. Like, it wasn't like new to like see them. It wasn't like I was like, what's that? But when I looked directly at them and focused in on one, it would start to expand or open, and it looked like a pathway. Like, I mean, it wasn't like a path you'd walk on, but you could see that it had depth to it, that I like a wormhole. Is that a stretch? I don't know, but that's what it looked like. It was like the color of like oh my gosh, if I could draw them, I would draw them for you. It almost looked like geodes. Okay, you know how like a geode, if you cut it in half, and like a blue-green geode, like the inside was swirled with blue and green, and then the whole outside had that kind of shimmery ridge of a geode. I laid there and I didn't go through one. I didn't really want to travel because I had a lot to do the next day, and if I travel, I don't get any sleep, which totally sucks. But I laid there watching them and seeing how they were reacting to me. So if I kind of didn't watch them, they would kind of close down or blip out. And then if I did directly watch them, they would start expanding and almost drawing me. It was unbelievable. It's like watching jellyfish above my head. Like, that's the best, only way I can describe it. They were very ethereal, very floating. I don't know what they were, but it felt like they were somewhere, not something. But they had some sort of consciousness to be able to pick up on whether or not I was looking at a particular one. It was pretty incredible, and I thought, are these orbs? Because that's how it started. They looked like orbs. Now, if they're spirits, they're very different in nature. If they weren't what I thought they were, or what my very mundane, very earthbound mind was trying to, like, give them a title. You know, when you go out of body, titles kind of start floating away because they're kind of meaningless. Even though when I'm out of body, a lot of times I am in this form, I look like me, or I think I look like me. I don't know what I look like because I've never really, like I said, looked in a mirror, but I have looked down and seen like legs. Anyway, I forget what I was saying. Damn it. But so I don't know if they were another like life form. It was something like I'd never had seen like that before, but something about it was so familiar. And tell me if you've like experienced anything like this before, but they literally like a jellyfish, or like, and it was very floating. It wasn't like on my ceiling, like suckered to my ceiling or something. It was like, but they stayed in the same positions above me and just were like open, close. And if I just ignored it, it would just start closing down real slow. It was just, first off, it was beautiful. I was like, kind of like, because so many times I'm in awe of what I see. I wish somebody was on the journey with me. Like, I know there's one girl that watches me that went to Monroe Institute and stuff, and like I just want to hear your experiences in getting out of body, your experiences in trying to get out of body, or meditating, or voices you hear, or ghosts that you encounter. Like, what are you seeing? Because I'm telling you everything I see, and I try to be like super observant. I don't do exactly what I want when I'm traveling though, because I don't get I've only asked for a name once. I've only like done simple things, you know, like sometimes like in my head before I travel, I have this whole agenda, and then I get there and I don't do any of it, which is, I guess not, which is, oh, nobody there? Yeah, okay. Which is, I guess, is not untypical. Like, once I get there, I just don't do anything that was in my mind before I went. I'm just so many times I'm like in awe of what I'm seeing or doing, that it makes it really hard to be like out of being in the moment. Oh, I know what I was saying, because you don't know. I don't know if I ever, like, I've seen what it looked like was a human form made out of like light, like a light bright. I swear it looked like a light bright, like little individual tiny sparks of light all over it, changing colors, mutate. It was crazy looking. And so like stuff like that leads me to think that like that it might be a human that I'm seeing. I'm just seeing a different form of it, and I don't know what my forms are, and I don't know if we turn into little amoeba looking things that change shape above your bed. I don't know what it was, but I would love to know what yours is. I would love to hear the stories from you. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that happened. they eventually just disappeared. I did not travel. I was way too tired for that. Like I said, I know, but I have a big life. Like you see, I go to work all the time. My phone rings 100 and 200 times a day. And that's just my life here. And then on top of it, I add videos and I edit and I upload and I do all the rest in my time, which is limited. So I'm at the post office. I am mailing the last 2 prosperity boxes, and then I have a special surprise for you this weekend. I'm not gonna tell you till tomorrow. No, I'm not, 'cause I love you guys.